guys, happy Easter to you today. I hope that your day is filled with joy and hope and peace. This is a very special weekend for our family as we look to a hope that transcends the worries and the concerns of this world through Jesus Christ. May you be blessed today. I just wanted to get on here and just kind of give my final thoughts on the Dior Forever Stick Foundation. Yesterday I had posted a video, a reel really, that kind of showed up close what the Dior stick looks like on my skin. And I realized that this stick is viral. It's very popular, and I can see why. First of all, I love the packaging. Dior, I used to work for them a long time ago in the late 90s, and I just fell in love with the brand. The clothing, the makeup, before Dior became super ultra expensive, I also owned a couple of their handbags and their shoes. It was like my identity brand. I loved everything Dior. And I still love Dior. And this stick is a great foundation. Let me just say that again. This is a great foundation. For some of you guys, this is going to be a holy grail. For me, I keep trying it each day, and I'm seeing that there are problems for my skin type. Traditionally, I was a young person who suffered with acne, so I had lots of acne scars and divots in my skin. I did have one laser treatment back in my 20s. I'm currently 45. And I felt like that kind of helped resurface and you know, smooth out my skin. I also wear, you know, sunscreen diligently and use good skincare. So my skin is looking good, and a lot of people would never know that I have acne, or had acne, but I just feel like my skin's texture is not as smooth as some. So I feel like Dior back in the 90s was more concerned with the audience of elderly clientele, women that were in their 40s and beyond. They were not so targeted or honed in on the younger clientele as they are today. Today, they are very popular because of TikTok and things like that, social media, with this younger crowd. So I feel like some of their products are geared more towards them. Like, I feel like the stick foundation is going to look amazing on someone who has, like, you know, very smooth skin. But I love, love, love the texture. Whatever they've done to get this really smooth texture, great job, Dior. Their Forever line of foundations, they're amazing. And as you know, I am a Seint artist, S-E-I-N-T. It used to be a multi-level marketing makeup brand, but I just simply joined and started selling their products because they were so good. And you know, they've just given life to my face that no other makeup has given. You know, me being in my 40s, I'm just finding that my complexion can look, you know, flat. It can look, you know, saggy. You know, I'm being a little bit harsh on myself. I know I have, you know, really good skin for my age, but there are things that look better, and then there are things that can make your skin look worse. So I have this stick, and I have a couple other Dior foundations, and I intend on using these and enjoying them. But as far as like, will I go and repurchase? I will not repurchase because this is very expensive, and Seint is not as expensive. So this is the Dior stick foundation. I found that instead of using this, as you see people using it online, swiping it onto the face, I actually prefer to use my finger and smooth on. Why? Because this is a very heavy foundation. This is a full coverage foundation. And it gives, I wouldn't say it's a matte finish. It gives kind of a flattened look to the face, but has a slight sheen. And for me, the sheen is an issue. It just looks, it kind of brings out the texture on my skin. But for someone with more of a normal skin, maybe even dry, that needs that sheen, this will look good. So this can be perfect for other skin types and other skin textures. But for me, it didn't do as much for my skin as the Seint cream. So I would recommend, you know, this is great for travel. If you're going on a cruise or if you're going out, take your finger and blur and blend. It's a great product to have when you're in a pinch for time. It's going to give you amazing coverage. It is so smooth. It's so buttery smooth. It does apply beautifully with a brush. The only issue is that it gets heavy quick. It is really, it's not a greasy product. It's by no means a greasy product. It's kind of a buttery, smooth, powdery. I wouldn't say like dusty and dry powder, but it does give you kind of a flattened, full coverage look. For some women, they're gonna love that. For me, my skin is pretty good. I don't need that much coverage. So what do I use? I use Seint. Look at the gorgeous packaging on Seint. Hello, it looks luxury. I love the ST logo. I've written to this company and told them they need to continue this style of packaging because this is great branding. Amazing package. I love this mirror that we have. I do have an issue when we use the makeup. It doesn't look as pretty as the Dior makeup. When you use this, it looks the same. But what I do is if it really bothers me that I can see the bottom of the tin, I will take it to the stove and put it on low and just lay the metal tin right on top, and it kind of melts it down and flattens it out and perfects it again without damaging the makeup. So this is my palette. Now, what I decided to do today is I used the Dior with my finger, and I used it in the areas where Seint will tend to kind of disappear or fade away during the day. I mean, the thing about Seint is that when it fades, it looks natural. You would not know that your makeup is wearing down, where some makeups will leave like little barren or, you know, nude areas of the skin showing through. That doesn't happen with Seint. So I did use the Dior, and I felt like it went on a lot better in the pores and stuff. I use it on my nose because, you know, wearing glasses, my nose often loses the foundation. So I think Dior is way better at longevity, especially in hot climates, than Seint. So if you need something to hold up in the Floridian heat or wherever you are, Dior might be a good solution for that T-zone. Now, I prefer the Dior liquid foundation, the Forever Matte, for my T-zone, and then I use my Seint elsewhere, but today I use the stick in my T-zone, and you can see it does have quite a bit of radiance even with a powder on top. So I feel like the Dior Forever Fluid, not the glow, but the matte version of the Dior Forever Fluid foundation is going to be a good solution for that T-zone, and I have done a video. Make sure you go check that one out. But elsewhere, where I didn't use the Dior stick, I used my Candlelit. This is a cream makeup. It is a stiff cream. It's not as buttery smooth as the Dior stick, but this is going to, you're just gonna like just go tap into it, and then you're gonna use it everywhere else. So I used the Seint kind of on the jawline. I used it, you know, up here. I used it kind of at the edge of the orbital bone here, and it gave me kind of a multi-dimensional look. And then I like to use my Seint contour. This is olive. I use that kind of, you know, in my contour areas. So I did try out the Dior contour sticks, and I did not like the color range at all. I felt like number one was too cool, too ashy looking on my skin tone compared to this beautiful olive color. This is just the perfect color. It's not too cool. It's not too warm. And I did not like the number two. I felt like it was too bronzy. So I love the Dior, you know, concept of having a stick again. I love stick foundations and the ease of use. And I love that they made a contour, because I felt like to compete with a brand like Seint, who has such beautiful contours, Dior did need a contour stick of some sort. But I think they need to work on their colors. Now, on my cheeks, I have a beautiful cream product from Seint. This is a palette that I had taken and done some alcohol inks on. It's kind of fun to use my artistry. If you didn't know that, I am an art teacher, an elementary art teacher, but I used Frenchie today. So here's my Seint cream lip. These are lip and cheek colors that Seint sells. So Seint does a great job with lip and cheek creams. These can be used on both the lips and cheeks, and they have different formulas. They have glossy formula, they have matte, they have semi-gloss. But today I used Frenchie, which is a gorgeous nude color, like a peachy nude. I just love this color. I'm just gonna put a little bit more on because they can fade. And I feel like the Dior Forever liquid underneath these blushes will kind of help grab onto them so they last a little bit longer. Okay. But I have it on HD today so that you guys can see up close. I think it does look better than yesterday. Let's see real quick if I can take my Dior Candlelit. It looks like there's some redness underneath the nose. See, you can just tap your finger right in there. These are portable as well. And I am a Seint affiliate. We're no longer multi-level market, but we're affiliates now, so we get credit. If you want to try this makeup, I can recommend your colors. But it does look gorgeous, it does. I'm not sure how this looks on camera, because we are right in the HD natural lighting here, and it's not forgiving at all. But I do think it looks better than a full face of Dior stick. Yesterday, actually, my husband, he looked at me and I asked him, I said, how does my makeup look today? He's like, honestly, it's a little bit too heavy. It's too heavy. Whatever you were doing before, Seint, that's what he was talking about. He was talking about Seint. Whatever you were doing before, you need to go back to that because the makeup today is too heavy. So, for me, after trying this, I'm sad that it doesn't work, but at the same time, I'm happy because it was, what, $50 or $60 in a stick, where Seint, I think it's $14 for a cream makeup, and you can do several colors. You can have a highlighter, you can have a coverage cream, you can have kind of a contour cream, you can have your blush, everything in one palette. So I hope this is helpful. I felt really guilty after yesterday's reel showing that the Dior foundation didn't look the greatest up close, because I love Dior and I certainly don't want to harm their sales, but at the same time I want to help you guys understand how wonderful a brand like Seint is, and how if you're in your 40s or maybe even younger and just have that, you know, kind of sunken, you know, lifeless look to your complexion, and you want to glow but you don't want to be overly shiny, and you want something, you know, beautiful to carry around with you, and you have all your makeup in one place, Seint is an awesome product. And we do have a color matching tool on our website. I'm gonna put my link in the comments, I guess, or in the description, and you can go there and you can find your colors, and they're pretty accurate. For me, I can use several shades of Seint and look great. They have a wonderful color range. They're very inclusive. They have some beautiful dark colors and some beautiful extra light colors. And the matching tool online is really accurate. It matched me correctly. So let me know if you have any questions about this cream makeup. It is not a gimmick. It really does work. I've tried it against some of the best luxury products out there. I just tried a sample of Gucci foundation that I got from Sephora yesterday, and I did not like it as much as Seint. And you're not spending as much money. So my name is Julie. I'm so happy to get on here today on this Easter Sunday and show you some makeup, and I pray that you'll be blessed. Thank you for watching. Bye, everybody.